to describe what has happened when Donald Trump stabbed us in the back, it's a betrayal. It's a betrayal, and Canadians are angry, but people in Windsor are pissed off. This feels like a betrayal, a gut punch, for absolutely no reason. Donald Trump has started an illegal trade war with Canada, one of their best allies, for absolutely no reason. And now workers are reeling. There's workers that are going into the work right now and wondering if their line pauses, will it shut down actually permanently? There's workers right now that are wondering, well, if I lose my job, how am I going to put food on the table for my family? How am I going to keep my home? Now, back in the day, maybe 20 years ago, if EI covered half your wage, you'd still be able to pay your bills, buy your groceries, pay your mortgage. But right now, I can say this with confidence, every worker is stretched so thin that cutting their salary in half salary compensation, means they're going to lose their home. They're not going to be able to afford to pay their bills. They're not going to be able to put food on the table. And so this is what we got to do. We got to fight back. We got to fight back and defend our country. Step number one is, if any business thinks they can take the manufacturing equipment in any factory here in Windsor or across this country, they think they can take any equipment out of it, they got another thing coming. Not a single piece of equipment should be taken out of any of our companies here in this country. We invested in that equipment. Canadians invested in that equipment. We're not going to let a single piece of equipment, a single piece of manufacturing equipment leave this country. Secondly, and we got to be very clear about this, while these tariffs are in place, no company should think they could sell here in Canada if they don't have a footprint here in Canada. So if they get rid of their footprint, they're not creating jobs here, they're not selling in our country, they're not selling in our market. We also have to make it very clear that as a nation, as a country, we're going to take care of our workers. So workers need to know that we're going to immediately put in place an EI that's going to cover their wages enough so they can keep their homes and pay their groceries and pay their bills. We got to make that happen. And to incentivize, what we need to do is we need to build Canadian, we need to buy Canadian, and we need to drive Canadian. So we gotta retool our manufacturing sector so we can build vehicles entirely, tailpipe to headlight, in our country. To build up a more resilient automotive manufacturing sector, that's something we've got to do. We also got to encourage people to buy Canadian. So what we're proposing is that if you buy a Canadian vehicle, we'll waive the GST entirely on that vehicle to incentivize people to buy Canadian. And when we are purchasing vehicles at the federal level, thinking about the RCMP fleet, thinking about the Canada Post, the entire fleet, we need to be buying entirely Canadian-made vehicles with the federal money that we have when we purchase vehicles at the federal level. That's another way to incentivize buying Canadian, building Canadian, and driving Canadian.